today on 15 on 15.
Pollution in Aruba's waters is leaving a bad impression on tourists. Plus, in our lifestyle segment, tips on how to still control your fat and calorie intake when eating out. As well, before the financial crisis in 2008, tourists actually cared very much about how green a hotel or destination was. Thank you for joining us. I'm Yent Lieuw. Keeping Aruba's beaches clean is always being stressed since it is the main attraction bringing tourists over to the island. Currently, there is an issue with the cleanliness of the water in the downtown harbor right by the cruise terminal. This is now the sight locals and tourists are confronted with when passing by this small stretch of water. The assumption being made here is that people are throwing all types of garbage into the water around the seaport area where the boardwalk is. Due to the wind and waves, all the waste is being washed up here.
Well, the problem we have is that a lot of people, they throw this dirt into the water. How do I say they throw it into the water? Because you see the dirt that goes into the water, it's not a dirt you just blows into the water. It's cups, it's bottles, it's rest of food, Coca-Cola plug. They throw it in the water and the water brings it back here. And it's all that's happening from here up to all the way to the seaport area. And everything the sea brings it down here with the wind.
Perry, who works downtown every day, says there are no excuses as to why people litter. There are garbage cans everywhere in downtown. There is not one specific group being blamed for their waste in the water. But at the end of the day, every single person has a role to be a responsible citizen.
I can pinpoint that one or that one. What I do know, it has to be from my viewpoint, from here all the way through the seaport. Everything between here and there has to be done. Because if you look at the dirt that is there, it's the supermarket bags, the plastic bag, which is also bad for our environment, and for the fishes. Rest of food, forks, plates, Coca-Cola bottles, beer bottles. I mean, you finish it, throw it. There's a lot of garbage cans all over the place. It's easy to throw it inside.
Needless to say, this murky water with so much garbage in it is not a pleasant sight for anyone to see. This gives tourists a bad reputation of our island, especially since it is so close to the cruise terminal.
The solution starts with yourself. If you have something to throw away, don't throw it in the sea. It's our nature. We live out of tourism. And if a tourist comes and goes to the beaches and see the dirt, he's not going to look at the other beaches, because if here's dirty, how's the others going to be? We got to make sure everything is clean and neat. We have to take care of our own garbage. If you go to the beach, you just can throw the garbage into the sea, because you don't use it anymore. Take it home and throw it away. There's a lot of garbage cans all around here. I have especially for garbage, for people to throw in. It's very easy for you to just go and throw it in a garbage. There's a big Ecotech, you always can throw it in there.
I have to say that is a shame. I filmed my stand-ups there a few months ago and the water was not like that. Now, the island has labor laws that is favorable for the workers. One of these laws includes encouraging new mothers to exclusively breastfeed. New mothers are entitled to using some of her working hours dedicated to the ways of Mother Nature. Now, of course, this is not a new law, but since we just celebrated Breastfeeding Awareness Week, it's good to give those who have forgotten a reminder.
We now have a law since 2007, and the law gives the mother the opportunity to make use of 25% max of her working hours a day for her milk to get out. So either the mother goes to the baby, she pumps, or the baby comes to work. And in that setting, there will be no reduction of milk because of her continuing the normal hours, the regular hours that the baby normally drink. And the law protects the mother till the baby is 9 months old. So that makes it much easier for a mother to succeed her goal.
And don't go anywhere, because when we come back, we'll give you tips on how to eat healthy even when you are dining out. As well, I'll explain why you should drink caffeine if you indulge in a lot of alcohol. And new technology that charges devices as long as you work out. All that and much more coming up, so stay with us. After the break, Ampy is a new technological advancement where it charges your phone as long as you sweat. Thank you for staying tuned to 15 on 15. Let's face it, going out for lunch and for dinner has become a norm and actually something to very much look forward to. But it's tough to be counting fat and calorie intake when eating at restaurants. So here are a few tips. Back in the old days, eating out was saved for a special occasion. But today, research shows on average Americans eat out close to 5 times a week. Although there are plenty of options for all kinds of food, you don't always have control of the fat and calorie count in your meal. Meaning, sometimes eating out means eating too much. Here are some tips from health experts. Select the right type of restaurants to dine out at. Asian, ethnic, Middle Eastern, Greek, fish, and Japanese restaurants are usually safe choices. You should be careful with mainstream restaurants, meaning chains. Also, there are some things you can take initiative to do as well, such as asking the waiter not to bring bread to the table before the meal. Why fill up on the calories? As well, you can ask for dressing and sauces on the side, and make sure the portions aren't too big. If they are, then ask for a half portion or take the rest of it to go. And moving forward in a different lifestyle topic, for all those who likes to indulge in alcohol every weekend, listen up. If you can stomach taking more shots than you can count, your liver probably hates you for it. If you think you get bad hangovers, just consider the state of the organ that metabolizes all that alcohol. New science suggests there may be a way to get back on your liver's good side. Previous research has linked caffeinated coffee consumption to lower risk of liver disease. What is most interesting in the study is that heavy alcohol drinkers who also drank caffeine appear to have healthier livers than heavy drinkers who drank no coffee. This apparent benefit was far more modest than the harmful effects of heavy alcohol drinking, which is an established cause for liver disease. Researchers say the data suggests that there are ingredients besides caffeine in coffee that may promote liver health, but they will have to do more research. And there is a new device on the market that charges your phone if you exercise hard enough. Take a look. University students in the United States have invented a pocket-sized device that uses energy generated by physical activity to charge a mobile phone. Ampy is strapped onto the body where it uses a magnet within a coil to convert kinetic energy into electricity. Simply plug the device, about half the size of a cell phone, into a USB port and a phone. The charging then begins. The chief product officer says the more you move, the more power you get. 30 minutes of jogging or an hour of bike riding produces enough energy to keep a smartphone charged for 3 additional hours. Charge up Ampy's battery to its maximum capacity, and a phone will go from no battery to between 50 and 75% full. The battery's status can be monitored in an accompanying app. Ampy is available for pre-order online for $95, so Google that one. And we will be right back. Let's take a very quick break. This is what's coming up next. Why was green tourism in so much more demand a decade ago compared to now? Find out next. In an interview with the CEO of AHATA, Jim Heppel, he mentioned before the financial crisis hit back in 2008, there was actually a huge demand from tourists for destinations to be more green. However, when the economic crisis took place, travelers became more price sensitive and the green aspect took a backseat. When it comes to traveling, tourists are typically concerned with safety and affordability. For a hotel or destination to have environmentally friendly practices would be an added value, however, not always a must. The demand for this was actually much bigger a decade ago.
Well, I think to a certain extent that was true maybe 10 years ago. And I can remember many tour operators would come to us and say, we will basically want to put in our tour book those hotels that are very committed to being energy sensitive, if you like, being sustainable, having green policies and so on and so forth. Environmentally friendly practices, if you like.
Times have changed since the economic downfall in 2008. Understandably, tourists everywhere became much more concerned for their wallet than for the environment.
And at the time, customers were basically saying, we're willing to pay a little bit more if we know that the hotel is committed to this. But then what happened in 2008 and 2009 with the financial crisis that customers became a bit more price sensitive, and they were more concerned about the actual final price. And so what happened was there was a bit of a drop in interest. But what we're trying to do is to educate the customer worldwide that if we're going to be sustainable as an industry, we have to be as environmentally friendly as possible.
Jim says a hotel being green isn't as crucial as the destination entirely being a sustainable development.
Because tourism depends upon a sustainable environment. I mean, people don't come here to stay in a hotel. They come here to enjoy Aruba, and what that means to them is getting out onto the beach or going down into Adcock, into the park, or just driving through the countryside. And that depends upon a sustainable environment. So consequently, we're all committed to having a sustainable policy moving forward because, as I say, people don't come here to stay in a hotel. They come here to experience Aruba as a whole.
That is all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be back here on Tuesday night with a brand new edition of 15 on 15. It all starts at 7:15 p.m. right here on Channel 15 ATV. We'll see you then.